Wavesound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of The Cold Light of Day by Trevor Douglas, narrated by Kate Handford. I finished this book during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic and will never forget the actions of the first responders and healthcare workers who risked it all to save untold lives. This book is dedicated to their untold stories of sacrifice and dedication. Chapter 1. Monday, 3:40 p.m. Bridgette paused at the top of the rise to take in the scene below. Despite her tall, athletic build, she was slightly out of breath from her walk up the steep incline from where she'd parked her car. Breathing in deeply, she studied the paradox before her. The serenity of the fir trees swaying gently on a light breeze at the edge of Lake Barnet was in stark contrast to the flurry of activity she observed below. Shielding her eyes from the late afternoon sun, she recognized one man instantly as the group of four worked together near the water's edge. She'd worked with him before and knew him to be a consummate professional. The other three people she'd never met, but she figured they were just as capable. Although she was out in the open and less than 100 feet away, nobody looked in her direction. Their focus was entirely on a fifth man, who was floating face down about 15 feet from the water's edge. Partially obscured by a tall cluster of reeds, it was impossible for her to see anything more than a vague outline of the man's body from her current position. Her boss, Chief Inspector Felix Del Rey, had told her the man had probably been dead for a week when he'd assigned her the case, but had conceded that was mostly a guess based on the sketchy details phoned in by the witness who had discovered the body. Bridgette wasn't afraid of death. She had seen her fair share of dead bodies in her short career as a homicide detective. However, the smell of putrefying human flesh always made her nauseous. She'd come close to vomiting several times during her first murder case, when she had watched the forensic team exhume the body of a young woman from a shallow grave. It had taken all her resolve to hold herself together, and she knew today would be no different. She marveled at the stoic determination of the forensic team as the smell of the decaying corpse assaulted her nostrils as it wafted up on the gentle breeze. Bracing herself for
Sample complete. Ready to continue?